You know what sequel we haven't had yet? To a Marvel property that deserves a sequel.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of shit in Eternals that I would like an answer to.
There's a lot of crap from a lot of different things. There's a lot of loose ends.
Shang-Chi, we haven't gotten another Shang-Chi.
But there's that, that's like in talks to be in. This is like, there's never been any talks of this movie being in the works. Like,
okay, hang on. What was a one and done? I mean, there weren't really a lot of one and dones.
Should I just
Marvel.
spill the beans?
So
there's really
hang on.
Really
So we're talking
one.
we're talking MCU, right?
Well, I mean, people are reading the.
No, but are we talking
the
MCU? Are we talking MCU?
About. Of course, we're talking MCU.
Okay,
yeah.
So because I watched,
people are listening to this because they see the title.
Instead of going to bed last night, I watched an hour-long video that explains the entire MCU timeline.
Okay.
That included, like, it's like, okay, here's the Infinity Saga, and then you get past the Infinity Saga, and then you reach this spot where it's like, okay.
Wait, are you talking about like timeline or like this is the amount of time that happened between these movies?
No, just timeline.
Okay.
This is the chronological order of things.
Right, because like the first four movies happens within like a month.
And then up in the top right-hand corner, it will show you like what year it takes place in, right? So so the whole thing obviously starts with Captain America, the First Avenger, even though it wasn't the first film, but it's set in the 40s, right?
Right. Chronologically.
And so it's all pretty congruent. And then it reaches like Loki season 1 and 2. And the creation of like the timelines being allowed to go wild, the timelines then sort of transforming into the branches of a multiverse tree. And then it's like, I got to show you the clips of the video at some point because it just like starts, like it branches down and you're like, okay, so we're talking about like Venom and all this stuff here. Okay, now we're over talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay, cool. Yep, now we're talking about all the X-Men films. And within the X-Men films, there's like, here are the X-Men films, and then let's go back and insert Days of Future Past and draw another line off of, like, it's an hour long to get through.
A branching.
So, I mean, if that's what, like, if we're talking MCU,
yes,
then, I mean, God, I would have loved another Thomas Jane Punisher. I would have loved...
That's not MCU.
Apparently it is. It has been confirmed. I don't know if it was like in the official book they released, but it is confirmed to be a not Earth 616, but it is a part of the cosmos of the Marvel world, of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Who made it?
The video?
No, the Punisher. What was it, Fox? It wasn't Fox.
Probably. Who owned Punisher? Punisher 2004 was made by
Lionsgate. Yeah, so that's I think you're stretching to put Thomas Jane's Punisher into the MCU.
But doesn't
like putting the X-Men, like the Fox universe, into the MCU is a little less of a stretch because that gap has been bridged by Deadpool now.
But wasn't there
Punisher, especially Thomas Jane's Punisher in there? That feels like a major stretch. I can't get behind that.
But isn't there? Hang on. I thought there was a thing. Is it like it's not Multiverse of Madness. It might have been Deadpool and Wolverine. Don't we have like
the closest Punisher you'll get
like
is
loosely
the
in the
Punisher from
background,
the
like the Russian
show.
is there or something, and it kind of confirms like, okay, that's connected. I think there might be. I think there might be some
There was a guy
connection.
who looked like the Russian.
Like with the striped shirt.
Yeah. But it wasn't played by the same.
Well, no, I think that guy's dead.
No, he's not.
No?
No. It was
played the
it was a
Russian?
wrestler, Kevin Nash
Right.
played, and Kevin Nash is still alive. Yeah, there's Kevin Nash on the left, the blonde hair,
Right.
and
Not the
guy
same.
From,
Yeah.
so
Okay. Well,
starkly
whatever.
different.
Whatever.
I think it's a stretch.
The Incredible Hulk? Is that what you're...
Yeah, of course, yeah, because
yeah.
we saw Falcon,
Yeah.
the Captain America: Brave New World, and
This is something,
his
I mean,
sidekick Falcon.
a little bit of a tangent, but I mean, that's all we've been
Hulk.
doing up until this point. Watching this video last night and looking at it, because it also shows you like all the timelines of every Marvel related thing ever. But it labels certain ones as unconfirmed to be connected.
If you're connecting Punisher that way, then yeah, sure.
Right.
Any Marvel property.
Well,
That's been in film.
some are specifically listed as unconfirmed,
Right.
to be connected. And so on those you have like the 70s Incredible Hulk, like the Lou Ferrigno stuff.
Ferrigno Hulk, yeah.
And you have like the Eric Bana Hulk.
Yeah.
And you have things like
People hate on that, but that was a really great interpretation.
you have
of
things
Hulk.
like the 80s Fantastic Four movie, and you have things like all the
the unreleased
renditions,
Fantastic Four movie.
all the renditions of Captain America that have happened over the years, and all this stuff. And I had a moment where, like, watching this, and I'm not gonna die on this hill. Like, I really don't know if this is how I feel or if it would be convoluted or whatever. I mean, knowing that where we're headed with the Avengers is Secret Wars and Doomsday, and that it will be the culmination of
like a Battle World,
the multiverse saga. My interpretation of that is that, like, the gloves are off, right? Like, that this is a Crisis on Infinite Earths level type of thing. And so part of me is like, man, I would get giddy as a schoolgirl, even though it's not a great movie and people love to hate on it and, X, Y, Z. I would be giddy as a schoolgirl if we're sitting down, you and me, to watch like Secret Wars or Doomsday, and there's a reference to Eric Bana's Hulk.
or
Right?
just
Or
like
there's a reference to you see him in a portal.
yeah, in the most recent
thing.
Secret Wars, which came out like 10 years ago now, I think. Like Hulk's or Doctor Doom has got the universe he's created divided up into different isolated world. Like there's a zombie area and but like his police force is Thor's from across the multiverse.
Yeah. See, I'd love that.
It'd be cool to see like a lineup of like everybody who's played Hulk.
Very similar.
People who've played Thor.
Or like a moment that was kind of like. Now, I know there were some issues with it.
Seeing a painted Lou Ferrigno next to a couple CG Hulks.
I know there was issues with the scene because people didn't like the whole George Reeves thing and the sort of the controversy surrounding that. And I mean, there were issues with the movie as a whole, but that whole like, here's Nick Cage as super, like the thing that they gave us in the Flash movie, right? What was that movie called? The Flash. I don't
The
even
most
remember.
recent one?
Yeah. Was it just called The Flash? No. I don't even remember now. We've like removed the one that had Michael Keaton as Batman in it.
Flash and Batman
movie.
that was what it was called.
It was called The Flash. Okay. It was just called The Flash. Son of a gun. I'd like a moment like that, right? Where you've got like a digitally recreated Lou Ferrigno, and you've got a reference to like, oh shit, yeah, there are the other, because the early 2000s Fantastic Four is now officially MCU canon, right? Because we have Chris Evans show up as Johnny Storm.
Correct.
Right? That is canon.
Yeah.
That's an Elseworlds story.
It's
right? So I'd love to see like I'd love to see something of that, or I'd love to see, or sort of a campy throwaway line where like you see, Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom is looking through portals or looking through time at the other Dooms that we've gotten, going, what, are you kidding me? Right? Like some sort of like, that's not Doom.
The worst Doom ever. I actually just seen we're so down a rabbit hole right now.
Hello and welcome to the Movie Men Podcast.
We're the B team.
That's Carl.
Brady.
Yeah.
So,
keep going.
Real quick. This will be the end of the rabbit hole. I watched a video because I like watching my comic books on YouTube these days.
Yeah.
Except for a few limited series.
Which feels a little dirty, but I get it.
Yeah. Well, even though anyway. But it was like, there's this Doom story where he does go to a multiverse, and he finds a version of himself that is happy and is married and is not in a suit of armor, but like all the kind of bad stuff that happened to Prime Doom, we'll call him, happened to this Doom. He just kind of processed it.
The science experiment gone wrong.
Yeah. He came up with technology to heal himself, and
that he didn't have to wear the mask to hide the fact that he was ashamed of his disformed figure.
And apparently, like near the end of that comic, the healed Elseworld Doom like insults Doom for being like, you're just a sad little boy grieving for your mom, stuck in your armor so you can hide yourself from the world. And Prime Doom's like, you are the weak Doom, and then like destroys him and leaves.
Look, I know that this is not related to the film that we're reviewing per se. But it's MCU, and this is what I know you're not a fan of it, but the more I've been watching like fan theories and like, oh yeah, like this is the direction they could take this, or they could do it like this, or like, ooh, what if this is what happens? The more I am so on board for Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. I know you're still not.
I'm not a fan. If we never see his face and he's acting behind a mask, which I think he could do a really great job of, I think that would be fine. I think it would be fine.
Yeah, but I also don't think you get Robert Downey Jr. and then not show his face.
Then it's not Doom to me.
But why?
Because for the very reason the comic I just talked about.
Yeah, but listen,
like Doom doesn't show his face to anybody.
Yeah, but listen, we are talking about. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, sure. For me, it's part of his core identity. Like he is above everybody. Unless we see his origin,
where nobody gets to
unless
see
we
his
see
face.
his origin.
There's that would be the only exception,
Victor,
I suppose.
Right?
Yeah.
But the idea that it could be played by the same person that played Iron Man, I'm so on board with. Specifically, I don't think you could do it if we weren't talking about the multiverse saga, but we were talking about an infinite ending.
Yeah.
Earths.
I will be extremely skeptical until we see it. Anyway,
Captain America.
We're not here to talk about Doom or multiverses.
Which wasn't the original title of this film. It was New World Order at first. Yeah.
Well, then this film underwent some rewrites and numerous reshoots.
Yes.
So it's not what it was originally drafted to be.
Yes. Should we do initial impressions?
Yes.
It's not the worst film in the MCU, but it's real not good. It's hard for me to like, there's no, my grievances with this film, I think, have less to do with what it is and what it has, and more to do with what it isn't and what is lacking.
Right. I feel like we're going to be on the same page quite a bit probably here.
And just kind of and I'll sort of I'll leave my initial impression at that, but I'll kind of capstone it here by just saying there was a moment towards the end where, not because I felt like it was short, but because I don't feel like you're watching a movie and there's this sort of moment where you're like, okay, like this is clearly the climax and we're in the thick of it now. This is where we've been working to get to. And then this is going to kind of like, we're going to conclude this and wrap this up and then it'll be the end of the movie. There was a moment at the end of this movie, towards the end of this movie, where I was like, oh shit, the movie is almost like it's ending. Like we're wrapping this up. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And not because it was short, just because I was like, I was, okay. All right. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Okay. So I'm going to steal a line from a review I watched because I think it sums up what I felt.
You have to, so give attribution.
Screen Crush.
Okay.
Screen Crush. Screen Crush. It's a YouTube channel.
I mean, both are.
It's the YouTube.
channels.
It's the one I like to go to. It's the YouTube channel. I think it's Crush.
Yeah, it's your favorite. You don't know what it's called.
There's a few I watch, but this is the one that I really enjoy going to for those like Easter eggs and stuff like that. So a lot of times even a hardcore fan might miss first time round.
Yeah.
Because they like watch it
I think
at
it's
half speed.
Screen Crush.
Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, one of their guys on said it's the worst Captain America film.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Which is a high bar to try and meet to begin with, because all three Captain Americas are solid at worst and amazing at best.
First one's the weakest.
Yeah, but it's still really solid.
The
second one's Winter Soldier's really good.
Second one's incredible.
Yeah. And the third one is, while called Captain America, feels a little more Avengery.
It feels like Avengers 2.5.
Yeah.
Like not a full-on Avengers film.
It
but
still
like
centers around Captain America
and
as the central
Tony,
character.
and then you've got the introduction of Spider-Man and Ant-Man shows up.
So
and
there's a lot of other players in the mix.
Yeah.
But so it's the worst Captain America film, which is
Easily.
a high bar that was set. So but it definitely didn't come close.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, it's not the worst
MCU
film.
No, that's still Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
It's down there.
It's bad.
It's down there real far.
It's
we don't I think the delays in the release of this definitely helped the CG team. Make Red Hulk look real good.
He did.
Yeah.
Like the effects in this look great. Like that, let's get that out of the way. The effects in this look great. And the other thing that I think maybe we should start on, because it might be something that you and I disagree on. Visually, I have no issues with the leader, with Tim Blake Nelson. Yeah, with his appearance. Now, drastically different from the comics. In the comics, he's
right.
In this, he's got a slightly enlarged head, well, a pretty enlarged head, and sort of a slight green hue to him.
Yeah.
In the comics, he's full on green.
And his head is a little bit more bulbous, like a light bulb.
Yeah.
And he's got hair, but it's smooth. He's got a smoother head.
Yes.
Some iterations make it a little bit more veiny, but this one just looked like a massive,
you could see brain
thick,
texture,
like 4-inch tubes running around his head.
So what I will say is two things, and this is why I'm completely okay with this, especially the second point. Number one, this is pretty consistent. This looks like the natural progression of what we saw start to happen to him when we last saw him in The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. His head was kind of starting to vein out. Yeah.
Number two, everything that I have heard from multiple sources, that the original screen tests for the leader in this film looked much more, in fact, very much like how he looks in the comics, and it just didn't work.
Really?
And this is something that I have said over and over and over again. Not, and I'm going to make some enemies here. and this is something that a lot of sweaty basement dwellers don't like to accept, not everything that works well on the comic book page translates well to live action on the big screen. Not everything. A lot of things do. A lot of things work great, right? Not everything translates well.
I would agree with that to a point. Yeah. I think maybe physical appearances won't translate well. I think studios don't give enough credit to costume design translating well. I think a good example of that would be the most recent Fantastic Four stuff. That looks very kind of old school comic accurate.
And it looks good.
And it looks great.
Well, and I think the more prevalent example that a lot of people will point to is we finally got yellow-suited Wolverine.
Yeah, with mask.
However, and I agree, but I still think you take that suit worked really great for the film that was Deadpool and Wolverine. You take that suit and you plop it into a lot of the previous X-Men films. Like you take that suit and you plop it into X1 or X2, it looks ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I would say that depends on if everyone else is wearing their comic accurate suits.
It would have been. I think that like we credit X-Men for being the film, and I mean, Blade was a part of this too, but X-Men was certainly much more in the zeitgeist. It was much more popular than the Blade films were. X-Men is credited as the film following Joel Schumacher's Batman and Robin, that like was like, oh, comic books are just campy and stupid and dumb. X-Men was the film that really was like, no, you can do this grounded and real world and make it feel gritty.
Make them edgy.
Yeah.
And little edgelords run around their leather suits.
And if you had Cyclops and his blue and yellow, and you had everyone in their blue and yellow, it would have looked dumb.
We do disagree because in the context of the film, that specific film, the way they did it, yeah, I absolutely agree with you. However, it worked in Deadpool because of the context of the. So if you were to take that 90s X-Men film, and you were to change was it 2000?
2000.
I thought it was late 90s. Anyway, you were to change the vibe, kind of the overall feel, the overall tone and look of the film. The color palette, right? Then those suits don't feel as out of place.
Well, no, but their whole thing was like, let's make this feel like it could actually happen. And the problem with the X-Men suits is inherently you ask the question, yeah, but why? Why would they why are they drawing that attention to themselves? Why do they look like that? No one would just choose that in a real world, our world setting.
That's what I'm saying, right? In the context of that film, yeah. it wouldn't work because they're not. But like, why does it work in the 90s X-Men TV show and X-Men 97?
Well, it's animated.
It's animated, and also the context of the
100%. We agree.
Yeah,
we agree.
If the film is designed around the idea that these characters are going to wear yellow and blue,
I think
then it will work.
I agree with you that, and I think costume designers are coming around to understand that.
Right.
In that, like in She-Hulk, we got yellow Daredevil.
Yeah.
And so we're getting that. However, when it comes to the physicality, the physical appearance of a character, it doesn't always translate well. And I'm going to go back to Deadpool and Wolverine when they finally said, okay, you stupid, whiny fans that are like, he's not comic accurate. They gave us comic accurate Wolverine and everyone went, oh yeah, that looks dumb.
the suit. We're talking about the suits, though, not the character.
I know. But
right?
but what I'm talking about, right? But this all goes back to me talking about the leader and simply the fact that the leader wasn't
a big light bulb head,
super green,
Yeah.
and a big light bulb head.
yeah.
And I've seen a lot of stuff online of people like, this is stupid. This is, why couldn't they, blah, blah, blah. Because it doesn't work. It doesn't always work.
I don't think light bulb head would have worked. I don't think what we got worked either.
Okay.
Interesting. I think it needed to meet somewhere more in the middle.
Right.
I think his dome should have been smoothed out a little bit more and just made just a little bit larger. Like, because it didn't feel like his head was that much bigger.
I think he was
It just felt like veins were popping out.
I
of
feel
it.
like he was the right hue of green, though.
I would agree with that. Yeah,
Right?
he's not that like deep saturated green.
Because otherwise, you're like, what? Really? Gamma did that to him?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
You
the
know.
eyes were perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. Nice green eyes, which really were like, because in this film,
Spoilers, by the way.
he's much scarier and ominous in the shadows.
When you just see the eyes.
Mostly because of the eyes,
Yeah.
and because we don't see the goofy head.
Yeah.
Because the head is goofy and it doesn't work for me.
Okay. I didn't mind it, but that's, I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise, though. That's just something we disagree on. But like, so here's my question. Who is the villain of this film? Because 90% of the film would have you believe it's the leader.
Right.
You know how the leader's taken out in this film? The police surround him and they take him down. It's an arrest. They make an arrest.
He's not a strong villain. He's a mastermind, right? He's a manipulator, which he does a good job of being, but then his motives are purely revenge. Like, because in the Hulk movie that we got years ago, that this is kind of a pseudo sequel to.
Yeah, the MCU one.
He's not a bad guy.
No.
He's forced against he's a scientist, a teacher, forced against his will to do some gamma stuff on a bad dude.
I mean, he's killing people. He's a bad dude. He's a bad guy.
In the first one?
No, in this one.
In this one. Yeah, he becomes a bad dude.
It's been 15 years.
But he's kind of pushed in that
for sure,
by the president,
but
not at the president at the time.
But like every bad guy,
no
one's born a villain.
He ends up making bad decisions. Yes.
So,
but
so 90% of this film would have you believe that the leader is the villain of this film. But then the showdown, right? The moment for our hero to shine happens not against him. It happens against Red Hulk, who we only really see actually take the Red Hulk form seconds before this showdown starts. And that fight also ends with him just being talked down.
Right.
And then the movie's over.
In the anime world, he has Captain America. This version of Captain America has Tak no Jutsu.
I don't. Yeah, sure. I don't know what that means, but
they can talk to people and get them to change change their arc.
That's sort of what happens here. Yeah, I will say though, on the topic of Red Hulk, as we've already touched on, he looked great.
He did. He's not comic. I mean, outside of the look, he's not a comic accurate Red Hulk.
I'm not sure entirely why most of his gray hair disappears when he becomes Red Hulk.
It's a youthful look. The Hulk is ever youthful.
Like that just kind of struck.
Hulks are ever youthful.
That sort of struck me as weird. I really liked though. I was like, it got me giddy that they sort of fake us out when he's on the sub and it looks like he's going to turn, but then he doesn't. Mm-hmm. I loved it. I was like, good for you. Yeah. String us along. Give us a taste.
Yeah.
Tease
We
us.
know it's coming because everybody's seen the trailer. But yeah,
I loved that. I thought that was a stroke of brilliance.
I do think it was a stroke of brilliance. I think it also makes kind of lends itself to the trailer being a failure, because that moment would be way more impactful if the trailer didn't reveal Red Hulk.
You know what though? But if the trailer didn't reveal Red Hulk, what was selling this film? Nothing.
This is a fair point, but that's the filmmaker's problem and fault, not me as a viewer. Me as a viewer, the trailer is a failure because it screwed up a crucial moment in the film. Because that moment happened, and I'm with you.
It's not the filmmaker's fault.
Whoever's in charge of making this film, somebody's at fault. Because just hear me out.
I disagree.
You haven't heard my point.
That's fine, but I know, but I still disagree.
Right? So that moment's happening, and I'm with you. I'm like, ooh, and then it stops, and it was like, okay, good. String me along. But at the same time, the whole time that's happening, I'm going, how's he get from here to America? Like, we're way over in the Indian Ocean. How does the Hulk get from Red Hulk get from Indian Ocean to Captain America and Red Hulk in the Indian Ocean to Captain America and Red Hulk in America? Because in the trailer, he's definitely in America.
You haven't paid close enough attention then to the Eric Bana Hulk. These things can jump like 30 miles at a time.
Yes. But the ocean is way bigger than 30.
I'm joking.
Yeah, it creates a big, not a plot hole, but like as I'm watching it, there's a disconnect. I can immediately go, okay, something's going to happen. He's not going to turn.
Yeah.
So it kills the moment for me.
So, but I'm
expecting.
See, that didn't kill the moment for me.
I'm
because
waiting for something to stop him because I know he's not going to turn.
But why?
Because of the trailer.
But
I know he's not going to turn there.
Because of the unwritten law that a individual is only allowed to Hulk out once per film?
No, because how do you get him there?
Because
from what we saw so far in the film, there's no
stop. Whoa.
No good storyline in my mind while I'm watching that film in the moment.
Because
that makes sense.
Because he hulks out to deal with the conflict that's happening with the Japanese, calms down, it's kept under wraps because he's the president, and then he hulks out again later in the film. We've seen people hulk out more than once in a film. At no point was I like, there's no way he's going to hulk out because of the trailer. And I guarantee you, I've watched more trailers for this film than you have.
Your premise for him being able to get back to the States is very far-fetched, in my opinion.
He's the president of the United States. What do you mean? If he wants to go to the moon.
As soon as he hulked out, what did they do? Shot at him.
Right. But
as soon as he calmed down, what did they do? Arrested him.
Okay.
Like, narratively, there's no good way to get him back to the States from the Indian Ocean.
We've seen the Hulk steal a Harrier jet and go to another planet. That is MCU logic. We have seen a Hulk steal a jet and go to another. He's on an aircraft carrier. We have seen a Hulk steal a jet and end up in a different galaxy. In the Andromeda Galaxy. So you know what? Bullshit.
Did he steal it?
Yes. He takes off and at the end of Age of Ultron. And we see the call where he like shuts off the video call as Nat's trying to get him to come back.
Trying to do the lullaby. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is an avenue to go. But here's why I disagree that it was a mistake to show Red Hulk in the trailer. Or why Red Hulk being the only selling feature of this film was the problem or fault of this filmmaker. The problem, yes. The fault, no. Because the director of this film, who, you know, I don't blame him for wanting to direct the next Captain America movie, direct an MCU film. Shit, yeah, I will. Okay, 100%. But what you're left with is the fact that, and yes, I know in the comics, Sam Wilson for a time is Captain America. So is Bucky in the comics for a time. So is friggin', Barney the dinosaur is Captain America for a time in the comics. But the director of this film, what he is handed is a decision that the Russo brothers made at the end of Endgame where Cap passes the shield on to Sam. And the director / writers of Falcon and Winter Soldier, who at the end of that show go, yes, you are now Captain America. You have decided to embrace that mantle. So what you're left with when you go to direct this film is, everyone is kind of already against me. I am directing a film about the character where I will say more than 50% of the internet is going, that's not Captain America. It's Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers is my Captain America. That's not my. That's
I don't
not
know
my,
if anybody's saying that.
100%. Dude, it's
I
everywhere.
haven't seen
Read
any
the
of
comments.
that.
Read the comments on any YouTube video or MC or like Marvel Facebook post. That's not Captain America. Right? And it's been an uphill battle for them. And you know what? I don't disagree entirely. I understand it's comic accurate that for a while Sam Wilson is Captain America. However, watching it, I'm like, yeah, I mean, dude, you should have taken the super serum. Right? Like I like it's so it is hard as a viewer. Even a viewer who understands the comics, it is hard for me as a viewer to watch this film and feel at any point like that is Captain America. The whole time I'm watching it, that's Falcon in a different outfit with a shield.
When he's suited up, I don't have that problem.
Really?
For the whole middle section of the film where he's running around with just the shield, I'm like, okay, you're a skilled fighter. How are you doing some of these things that seem like you have enhanced abilities?
Yeah.
Right. One of the things was he gets hit by an axe in the side. Walks it off. We later find out, okay, he's got some kind of Kevlar weave.
Probably some Wakandan vibranium.
Well, it was a conversation with, what's his name? The snake guy. He said, oh, you're wearing Kevlar weave? He's like, gotta wear what I gotta wear.
Perk of the job.
Yeah. So okay. So knives and stuff won't hurt him as much because he's got some military grade protection.
Yeah.
But like some of the flips and kicks and stuff he does without the suit that are obvious wire work, it's like, okay, you're skilled, but you're not enhanced. This stretching it a little bit for me, but I can suspend my disbelief
when he's in the suit. You're like, his thrusters are helping and his whatever.
What really bothers me though is obviously his suit has some form of nanotech.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Because the helmet comes on and off using nanotech.
Yeah, he's got like Stark tech.
Why is the rest of his suit not nanotech? And why is he not just wear it around as a back? Like,
I don't know.
Like
as a necklace that
a necklace, or just like
comes
just a backpack.
No, for
right
sure.
With the jet,
100%.
Because the jet can't be nanopack, right? Or I mean, I guess it could be because Iron Man's got jets and they come through the nanopack.
I think
is nanites.
What it comes down to,
but that was my biggest beef. Like, you're going into dangerous situations all the time as a normal human being, and why didn't the Wakandas give you a full nano suit the way Black Panther and Iron Man do?
I think for me it boils down.
I couldn't wrap my head around that.
There's two things that I want to make, like two stances that I have that I want to make clear, and these are things based on me watching the film, me having watched Endgame, me having watched Falcon and Winter Soldier. And the second thing is something I want to address that is annoyingly prevalent all over the internet. Number one, Sam Wilson doesn't work as Captain America for me because it's not Steve Rogers. Because it's not the man through time who is...
Not your Steve Rogers.
Yeah, it's not my Steve Rogers. Right? And so...
Not my Captain America.
Yeah, and it just... For me, it doesn't... he works as a character, but I just don't. I just don't. It's difficult for me to feel
And
like
I'm not going to
that's
hold that against
Captain
you.
America.
I think I disagree a little bit, but I'm not going to hold it against you.
The thing that I want to
trying to
address
dissuade
that's
you.
internet based, and it annoys me. It doesn't surprise me, but it annoys me to no belief that this is a thing in 2025. There are a lot of posts. I'm sad, but happy to screenshot them and send them to anyone who wants to see them. There are a lot of comments on trailers, on reviews on YouTube, on social media posts, official Marvel social media posts. Well, it was a black Captain America. Listen, if you have, and this is we don't get political on this show, but this is a personal conviction that I need to air in this moment right now. If you have an issue with this film, or you have an issue with Sam Wilson as Captain America because you have an issue with a black Captain America, you are a slimy, cousin humping, floor licking,
Now, let's not get mean.
gasoline huffing piece of shit, and you deserve to rot in a hole.
I haven't seen anything like that. I don't know where you're looking that you are. Any hate towards Anthony Mackie as Captain America that I've seen, and I like him as Captain America, and I think he did a great job in this film as Captain America. I think he makes a fine Captain America. I don't care that it's not Steve Rogers.
His performance is wonderful.
But I would say anything I've seen negative towards him as Captain America is because he kind of shot himself in the foot in an interview where he was talking about his portrayal of Captain America is not pro-America or something like that. I'm abbreviating. That's not a verbatim quote, but it's something to that effect.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that didn't like his take on that.
Well, whatever. Go to hell.
But it's his own personal opinion. But I mean, at the same time, watching this film, I don't understand his take because this is a very pro-America Captain America. So I don't know what he's talking about.
It's pro-America, but it is and it isn't, because they make a point in this film of the fact that this is a Captain America who is not in line with the commander-in-chief.
But
with the man
Steve
who is
Rogers
running,
Captain America was often we saw it in Civil War, right?
Yeah,
like
100%.
he was opposed to what the United States wanted him to do.
He didn't give himself the name Captain America.
No, he and like to that point, this Captain America as oh shoot, I'm forgetting the name of the character. Sam Wilson. He's Captain America. He stands for the same ideals and does all the same kind of things that Captain America does. To the point Bucky makes in the film.
I mean,
the big difference is Captain America Steve Rogers gave hope. Sam Wilson gives something to aspire to.
I mean, they have slightly different morals. Sam's a little bit quick to pull a gun on someone or throw a knife into someone than Steve would have been.
Well,
they're different characters.
Steve had his super strength where he could just knock them out or take the hit. Right?
What I will say,
Sam doesn't. He's got to be a little bit more extreme because he doesn't have the same superpowers. He doesn't have any superpowers.
What I will say is, again, understanding, and then we got to move on from this, but understanding that, because there's a big elephant in the room we got to address. Understanding the comics. I think for me, I would be just as I just don't understand why. Why? Because you've been given the shield. Because the shield is now yours. Your character name has to change, and it has to change to another already established character. There would have been no issue for me if Sam Wilson was still Falcon, but Falcon had been bestowed
Falcon just carried a shield. Well,
the Captain America shield. What an honor!
It doesn't
the mantle.
change the honor. The title carries weight and meaning, right? It's the same thing with Batman and the mantle being passed in Batman, right?
Which
Dick Grayson was no less Batman than Batman.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of because I'm not a Batman Beyond guy, Bruce Wayne is my Batman, right?
Dick Grayson isn't Batman Beyond.
No, I know, but but the alternative Batman that everybody knows is Terry McGinnis.
Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond, right?
So that's what I'm referencing because that's what the common person who knows. Oh God, there's more than one, right? I mean, you want to get into Batman? Azrael is Batman for a while, right?
Yeah.
When Batman's back is broken.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is Batman.
He's like the Batman.
Yes.
And I would say that Steve Rogers is the Captain America. But as a mantle, the mantle is important and carries
and weight. I'm just saying it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
I'd prefer it the other way.
I really am not trying to change your mind. I'm just
we're both on the same. We disagree.
We're in different sides of the same coin.
Yeah. The elephant in the room. And again, I guess I've been reading a lot of comments. People are like, "Oh, what a retcon." Well, leave it to the MCU to retcon. And you know what? I don't know that this is a retcon. Kevin Feige is a guy that plans shit long in advance, right? Like this guy's living 10 years in the future all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a retcon. Maybe it's not. If it is a retcon, I think it just goes to show that a retcon is not always a bad thing. Right? Sometimes you retcon something.
Sure. Get to the point.
The Celestials, which, thank God, someone has finally acknowledged this big at 5 years later, someone's been like, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
There's a giant alien came out of the center of the earth living in the Indian Ocean there, right? Yep. Are at least somewhat comprised of a new, very interesting mineral or compound.
Unobtainium.
Called adamantium.
Oh, right. Yes, I forgot.
So this is a big deal. It's a big deal. And you know what? Maybe it's a retcon. Maybe the plan back when Eternals was being made was not that they would have adamantium in them. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I don't know that we'll ever be able to definitively say. If it is a retcon, I think it's a smart retcon. And I think it really, really, really speaks to the genius of the MCU and of Kevin Feige. And you know what? Even though the MCU...
Are you saying the fact that the Celestial is made of adamantium is a retcon?
A lot of people are saying that online. It's like, oh, well, yeah, you're just going to... Like, that was never... You're just adding that in so that you can, like...
I would say it's more of a shoehorn than a retcon.
Well, whatever. Yeah. Maybe it is. Yeah. Maybe it isn't. Maybe that was always the plan. We don't know, and we may never know. If it is a shoehorn, it's genius, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you have to introduce adamantium to the World Summit. This is a big deal. This is the first mention of adamantium in the MCU. This is the canonization of adamantium. And I don't know, like it confirms for me one of two things. And I think both are completely valid. And both are about how the X-Men are going to be introduced and handled within the MCU. The fact that we are now just in, 2029? 2028? That the MCU is in right now? Because we were tracking pretty much closely with the MCU for a while, but then there was a little bit of a time jump between Infinity War and Endgame, right? Because we like jumped forward 4 years to make up for the 5-year snap.
I suppose. I don't know.
I think so. So anyways, whatever year it is, this is the introduction of adamantium to the knowledge of the human race.
I guess the question is like, how long was Eternals after that? After Snap.
Like, you think we're caught up to You think we're caught up again? I don't think so.
I think this is a time jump back. I think movies,
not according to this is according to the official MCU timeline. This is the most up to date, most recent thing that has happened.
Really?
Yeah. What would you put after this?
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness?
No, you can't.
Why not?
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
I think you could put any film we've gotten.
Obviously not Eternals.
Post Eternals, Endgame, Eternals, and then you could put Captain America and any other film after this minus Spider-Man. I'd say Spider-Man happens around the same time as this movie.
Okay, the video I watched said that this is the most recent thing. I don't know if that's,
I guess Captain America and Falcon and Winter Soldier would have to be before this as well.
The present day of the MCU. So this movie takes place in 2027. So we're 2 years behind the MCU right now.
So there are other films that we've gotten that take place after this.
No, there was a time jump because we didn't see anything that took place during the snap, which was a 5-year period.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right, so there's a time jump there. We were tracking year for year, and then all of a sudden
we had
weren't.
a 5-year time jump. Right.
Yeah. So adamantium was just introduced to the knowledge of the human race on Earth 616.
Right.
Which tells me one of two things about the way that they are going to introduce / handle the X-Men. Either Wolverine, they're going to take a bunch of creative liberty with the character of Wolverine in that he is infused with adamantium sometime after the events of this film.
So he's a pretty, well, I was going to say he's a pretty young Wolverine, but he could still have been around for a couple hundred years,
right?
before he gets the.
But that he's only had adamantium post this film, or that the X-Men are going to get the Fantastic Four treatment, right? Because Fantastic Four, from what we've seen in the trailers and our understanding of what's been confirmed. It takes place in the 60s. It takes place in a sort of Jetsons, futuristic 60s.
Takes place before.
But not on Earth 616. It's a different world.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah. It's a different world.
It's alternate world.
Because you see, they're in like New York, but it's not the New York. It's like a futuristic New York, but in the 60s.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're not of the 616 universe. My guess and everyone else's guess is by the end of the Fantastic Four film, First Steps or whatever it's called, they will be pulled into Earth 616.
Okay. And which will create all kinds of problems, maybe intentionally.
I mean, yes and no. I don't know. Who knows?
It will, because the MCU has already canonized that beings, through Doctor Strange, beings from another universe hanging out in a universe that isn't their own creates a, what do they call it? Not a cataclysm or a divergence. An incursion.
Yes.
So maybe it's intentional. If they do that, maybe it's intentional, which I could see and be fine with because it would set up Secret Wars nicely.
But how does that play into the ending of Loki season 2? Right? When the
incursions?
Yeah.
I don't think the ending of season 2 nullifies the idea of incursions.
I mean, the TVA doesn't care about them anymore.
The TVA never cared. Well, they kind of cared about incursions, I guess.
That was their whole thing. It was preventing them.
No, their big thing was preventing
Variants.
multiple timelines that would just get out of control.
Yeah, sure.
Where an incursion is. This is another weird gray thing that MCU's created. Timelines versus multiverse. They're kind of the same thing, but they're a little bit different because the idea of an incursion is one universe colliding with another and both of them, one potentially surviving or both being destroyed.
Right.
Right. So it's a little different, but I guess the reason I don't think Loki really messes with that, because even if timelines and multiverses are the same, there's no reason that those branches can't smash into each other.
Well, because they kind of, in Loki season 2, it was,
Right.
even though Loki season 2, because Loki season 2 is one of those things that even though it set immediately following Loki season 1.
Right.
So we had a lot of things that came out before Loki season 2 that actually take place after Loki
Right.
season 2. That, yes, right from the get of Loki season 1, there was the ability to create different timelines. But it's not until the end of Loki season 2 that it's like, okay, the multiverse has been created.
And I don't think they don't talk about any. I don't think they talk about incursions. I don't think incursions are the problem why they're pruning.
No, that's a Doctor Strange multiverse of madness thing.
And there's no, like, my kind of little theory, headcanon theory about like how it's not a problem is, you know, the way the incursion is explained is when a being from one universe jumps to a different one, it then starts drawing those universes together because it's trying to reconnect. It's
trying to right itself.
Yeah, it's trying to reconnect its missing piece, right?
Yeah.
Because, my missing piece is over there. I'm going to go get it. So now those if we're looking at them as being the same thing, the branches of timeline.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how it's going to happen? But
Yeah.
so that is the other possibility.
And I'm not saying it's a problem or a bad decision. I think it's, like in terms of if the end goal is Secret Wars, that's a way to do it.
But yeah, so it kind of, so that's the other option, right? Is that the X-Men that we are going to get are not the X-Men from Earth 616. They'll end up in Earth 616, at least for Secret Wars.
Yeah. Or a combined universe.
Yeah, whatever it ends up looking like.
Is Battle World, because that's what the Secret Wars takes place on Battle World, which is the universe, the singular universe that Doctor Strange creates to stop all the other universes from being destroyed.
Right.
By essentially destroying, but saving everybody else. Battle World is essentially the Ark.
Yeah.
Saving.
Everyone hop on.
Everybody hop in the Ark to be saved from destruction.
We're going to live here now.
Yeah.
So who knows? And we don't know what they're going to do, right? But yeah. So adamantium. How do you feel about the introduction of adamantium?
I mean, it doesn't change anything yet.
Not yet.
It creates lots of opportunities.
Opens doors.
We find, I don't care that it's adamantium. It could have been some other rare material. The fact that it's adamantium is, while interesting, is inconsequential to this movie.
Yeah.
It gives us some answers about
more of an Easter egg.
Yeah. It gives us some answers about the Celestial and the end of Eternals, which we've been waiting for years, which this movie should have came out so much sooner.
Yeah. Which it looks like Fantastic Four is going to give us more, because in that trailer, Galactus is in the trailer.
Right. My biggest thing here is, how do they know it's a Celestial?
Right. They call it Celestial Island.
How does the only body that knows it's a Celestial are the Eternals.
So hang on.
The Eternals are not known by humankind.
Hang on a second. In Eternals, can you 100% confidently say that they ever refer to it as a Celestial?
I think the Eternals do.
Do they? Or do we just refer to it as... they might. I don't know.
I mean, I've only ever seen the film once. I'm going to like 70-30 it that they do. I would say 70-75% sure that they did. But which, even if they didn't, okay, point to you, right? But if they do, how does the rest of the world know it's a celestial? To
Because-
call it a celestial island.
Because celestial that's not a word created by Marvel. Right?
No.
If something is a
but-
celestial being, then there's not a huge logic jump that you need to make in order for the world or the US government or United Nations, whoever it is, to go, this is a celestial being. This is an otherworldly being.
Well, then call it otherworldly island. Call it monster island. Call it like it just feels weird that I don't know. It feels weird that that's what they ended up calling it, and that's what it actually is. Like, what are the odds?
Celestial deviants.
It's it feels, and this is something I don't know if I picked up on it much watching the film, but they really harped on it on Screen Crush about the exposition dumping of this film. Like they're constantly talking about Bruce Banner and referring to Betty Ross as General Ross's daughter. It's like, okay, just call her Betty. You don't always have to call her Betty Ross, my daughter. Like,
I mean, it's been long enough.
but you could do it like there was a great scene closer to the end where he's like, there's a very brief shot of a whole bunch of pictures of him with Betty.
Yeah.
That's all you need. And from there on, you just say Betty. You can maybe do it once at the gravestone, but like every time she's brought up, they're like, Betty Ross, my daughter. As my daughter Betty called.
I never picked up on this.
I didn't either, but as soon as Screen Crush like pointed out, and they pointed it out a lot in their video. As soon as they pointed it out, I was just like, oh yeah, there was a ton of exposition dumping in this.
Oh, sure.
Like a ton. I think calling it Celestial Island is kind of a very on the nose exposition dumping.
I think when you are like, yes, I agree that you could maybe do it once and then assume that the audience is smart enough moving forward. However, I do think you need to do it once. Because I think when you are making this film, if you are the director of this film, just because the sheer vastness of the MCU at this point, right? And the fact that there are people going to see Captain America Brave New World who were not yet born when The Incredible Hulk came out. That's a movie that's older than they are.
Yeah.
I think when you are making this film, whether this is the accurate number or not, I don't think it is. But I think a good rule of thumb now, when you are making an MCU film, is to assume or act as if 50% of the people who are coming to see this movie have not seen the movie from 15 years ago that we're referencing and have not talked about since. The character that has not shown up in 15 years. I think your safe bet, a good rule of thumb, is assume that 50% of the people walking through this door have not seen that film.
Right. So you do it once.
You do it once.
And I think you do it more creatively than they did it, where where the president is talking to their right hand aide and going, has Betty, my daughter, called?
Whatever.
That'd be like me going, has Laverne, my son, talked to you today?
You have a son named Laverne?
Exactly. Like that would like, if all I'd have to do is say Laverne or my son, and well, I guess I can't just say my son.
No, you have two.
But if I say
what's the other one's name? Todd? Daryl.
George. Yeah. Costanza. George Costanza Eastman.
You have two boys and one girl, right?
Yeah. And
another on the way. Can we break news right now?
and a flea baby.
A flea baby?
Yeah.
Oh, the dog. Yeah. Timber. I still have that dog, eh?
Yeah. She's a good dog.
Was there anything about this movie you liked?
Yeah, I mean,
Harrison Ford is great.
Harrison Ford knocked it out of the park.
I kind of wished, like, look, William Hurt was amazing. Rest in peace. William Hurt played a great Thaddeus Ross.
Oh yeah.
But watching this, there was a small part of me that was like, I kind of wish it was Harrison Ford all along.
I did like that they had a little flashback moment showing him as General Ross with the mustache. I was like, oh, that's cool. It's kind of a nice nod. Because he doesn't have a mustache in this.
Did you notice there was a photo of him at one point that was like him when Betty was a kid? That it didn't look like Harrison Ford. Like, it didn't look like young Harrison Ford.
I don't know.
And I don't know if it was young William Hurt or if they took the two characters and like photoshopped them together or what they did. You didn't notice it?
No.
Okay.
I would, no, I didn't. I liked the fight scenes.
Yeah.
There was only one fight.
There's one fight moment in this film that ruined the entire
there
movie.
Were two, I'd say there's two or three maybe for me. There was one moment when they were fighting in the leader's kind of prison cell or escaping from, where Sam kind of does a jump up backhand with the shield or just a backhand with the shield. Yeah. And it was a bad camera because, you know, like most fight choreography, you don't really hit the person, the camera angle. For me, it felt like a really bad camera angle. I was like, oh, he very obviously didn't hit that guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on it.
It stuck out like a sore thumb for me for that brief moment. I was like, what? He didn't touch him. The other thing would be Sam's vibranium suit.
Yep.
Vibranium's really, like, up until adamantium, vibranium's the strongest metal on Earth.
My headcanon about this.
You can't cut it.
My headcanon about this is that it has a vibranium layer underneath. And that it's
like a vibranium weave.
Yeah. Because I know there's a moment where the suit gets cut.
Yeah.
Like across the star, across the chest. And I also thought, oh, hey, that was easy. Like and then I was like, well, maybe it's like an Under Armour, right? Like it's a vibranium Under Armour.
Yeah.
Because it is a bit of a suspension of disbelief to think that this otherwise cotton-looking suit is 100% infused with vibranium.
Black Panthers looks pretty textile to me.
Yes and no. It's a little more shiny.
There are parts of it that
spandexy.
look stronger than others, but for the most part, it looks majority textile.
Yeah. I don't know.
Which leads me back to the suit problem in general. Like, why isn't it all nanotech?
Why isn't everybody's?
Well, because
that gets boring.
Because Wakanda is very guarded of the vibranium, right? So
yeah, but
that's
not
why,
nanotech.
That's why all
nanotech's an Iron Man thing.
Not and Wakanda had it done before he did.
True.
He adapted it because he saw it.
Yeah,
from Black Panther. But Wakanda gives you a nice gift. Here's a vibranium Captain America Falcon suit.
Yeah.
But we like you, but we don't like you enough to like give you grade A Wakanda suit. We're gonna give you the C tier stuff.
I mean, that's not a huge leap.
I don't know. For me, that feels pretty like
that a full vibranium suit would be reserved specifically for Wakandans.
But I don't know. Like it's
inconvenient for Sam for sure.
But this is like.
But I don't know that it's world breaking.
It's a gift from a country who holds not just Captain America and the name and title in high esteem, but after Falcon and Winter Soldier, they hold Sam in high esteem.
Who says they hold Captain America's name in high esteem? They hold Bucky and the White Wolf in high esteem.
I would say they hold Captain America in high esteem.
Based on what? I don't disagree, but based on what?
Based on all the films we've seen.
But what moment?
Get this man a shield. And they give him, like,
Yeah.
he is a trusted ally who's looked favorably upon.
I guess.
To me, it just seems like kind of a backhanded. What do you call it? When you give somebody a man, words are hard. Why am I on a podcast?
Yeah, I don't know. It's filled with regret.
Not an insult. The opposite of an insult is a
Compliment.
compliment. A backhanded compliment. It seems like this suit feels like a backhanded compliment.
Okay.
Like, we're going to give you a suit, but you're still going to be in danger wearing it.
Right.
Like, we're going to give you a small upgrade, but not an upgrade that can really make you excel at being the role that you need to be. We believe that you need to be Captain America. That's why we're making this suit. We believe Steve picked the right guy.
Well,
But we're not going to help you excel by giving him the suit. They're implying it.
I mean, maybe.
I think it's heavily implied that by giving them a Captain America Falcon suit, they're implying that we think Steve made the right choice.
Yeah.
Else they wouldn't have given him a suit that's got the Star Spangled on it.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway.
Dumbest moment of the film. You ready?
Sure.
What is I mean, I know he's like, "Oh, I'm the new Falcon," but what's that character's name?
Oh, I got
The Sam's friend.
His name is Juan Torres. Joaquin Torres.
Joaquin. Because we saw he was in Falcon and Winter Soldier as well.
Yes. Yeah. Is the guy behind the chair.
There's issues with this film in that, like, there's no real big climax. It's not super clear who the villain is. The movie ends and not a ton has happened. Sam's really no different at the end of this film than he was at the start of this film. There's no real journey that he goes on per se, just sort of a bunch of shit that happens in the middle. And all of that, all of those are demerits. All of those are weaknesses. None of them per se make it a garbage film. But my God, when for the 2 seconds that Joaquin rides a missile like it's a goddamn surfboard, I came so close to throwing my arms up in the air in the theater and going, "What the hell is this?" It was so stupid. It was next level. It was Fast and the Furious franchise bullshit.
Yeah, both of them have a very kind of parkour style fighting, and
apparently
it gets a little crazy.
And there are moments where both of them, despite being flawed human beings that have never taken a super soldier serum, they both are capable of incredible feats. Like, just out of this world feats.
Feats that seem like they're super soldiers.
Stuff that Steve wouldn't have tried.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I agree with a lot of that. I think the unclear villain is the biggest thing. And I think part of that comes from...
Like, the leader's just done dirty.
Well, here's the problem I have. You've got...
You want to come back after 15 years and be a nobody?
You've got Captain America. Falcon. He's Captain America.
Apparently.
Captain America's got a laundry list of enemies you can pick from.
Yeah.
Who do we decide to take? Well, let's go to the Hulk's Rogue Gallery.
Yeah.
What? The Hulk's Rogue Gallery works against the Hulk because he's the Hulk.
I mean, it's hard to bring... They can't... How else are you going to bring the leader ever back in?
You do a Hulk movie.
They can't. They don't own the Hulk.
I know, but that's how you do it. You leave him alone unless the Hulk comes in. The reason the leader is so interesting against the Hulk is because you've got the unstoppable physical force
So-
against the ever knowing mind of the leader.
For those that
which
don't
they
know-
try to do in this film, because Sam Wilson somehow always does the opposite of what the leader predicts he should do, which is kind of what the Hulk does
So hang on.
to him. But
For
it's
those that don't
ridiculous.
know, and I know we've talked about this before, but in this specific moment, it's worth briefly rehashing. The way that the rights for the Hulk work is that like the Hulk himself is owned by Paramount, the film rights for the Hulk.
Yeah.
And so Marvel is Hulk is allowed to appear in other films, ensemble films.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to make a straight up Hulk film. And then how did you make the Incredible Hulk? They didn't. Paramount did. If you go back and you watch,
Yeah. They cut a deal.
they cut a deal.
Right. They, just the same way they did with Spider-Man.
And the only thing that actually ties, I mean, now we've had Abomination show up in She-Hulk. We've had the leader show up here.
The Hulk showed up in She-Hulk.
But aside
too,
from that, the only thing, but not Edward Norton's Hulk, the only thing that ties the Edward Norton Hulk to the MCU is a post-credit scene where Tony Stark shows up. That is it.
Well,
There's nothing else
now
during
the Abomination and
but during
now
the
Betty
actual
Ross.
events of the film, as you're watching them when they come out, and for 10 years following, the only thing that ties it together is that post-credit scene.
and General Ross too.
Right, and then he ends up showing up as Thaddeus Ross in, I think, Civil War is the next time we see him,
I think so. Yeah.
when he's introducing the Soviet Accords.
Yeah. So there's more. As time has gone on, more has tied the two
Yes.
together. So we know that the Hulk we have, the Bruce Banner we have, is Edward Norton.
Is the Edward
recast.
Norton Hulk.
But like they could do it the same way they did Spider-Man. Share royalties or whatever, right? Like split the profits.
Yeah.
To give fans what they want.
But I mean,
or write the story that you want to tell your
Disney,
Marvel
Studios. I mean, look, the biggest, most exciting thing to me about this whole film was we got to see for the first time since Civil War. No, wasn't in Civil War. For the first time since Age of Ultron, we got to see Hulk rage. We got to see someone really Hulk out. I know the Hulk is in Thor Ragnarok, but by that point, Hulk he's talking a lot more.
Yeah.
He's matured. He's not full
He's become more
on
of a mature Hulk.
gamma radiation Hulk rage.
Yeah.
And so as much as Red Hulk in this,
he still has his moments, but
Yeah.
he's got a little bit more control of his
as much as
faculties.
Red Hulk in this was maybe not the intelligent being that he is in the comics, God was I grateful. I was like, oh man, I've missed this. I've missed just Hulk smashing.
Yeah. A Hulk smashing.
Yeah.
He's not
So
the Hulk.
So So
I think and that we haven't touched on that. We've talked about that a few times, but like while this is a red version of a Hulk, it is not
the Hulk.
it's not red comic book accurate Hulk.
Which is fine.
Well, red comic
It
book
worked for this film.
It worked for this film because the leader was manipulating his anger, and it works better if he's mindless.
Yeah.
But I think Red Hulk is way scarier when he's Thaddeus Ross's mind in Hulk body.
And Harrison Ford has expressed interest in returning to play the character again. So who knows?
Yeah. And like Red Hulk was a big part of the Thunderbolts because Thunderbolt Ross put together the Thunderbolts in the comics, and we're getting a Thunderbolts movie. So maybe there's something there that we haven't seen in the trailers. Hopefully he'll have his intelligence, because like
that he was going to
the scary things about the Red Hulk in the comics is you've got all the strength of the Hulk with the mind of a 5-star general who also likes to use Hulk-sized weapons,
Right.
like Hulk-sized shotguns and rifles.
Yeah, because he's a military guy.
Like that's terrifying.
Yeah.
To me. Like, I don't know.
So the other big thing, two final things that I feel like I need to touch on, and then whatever else you have. This film was very clear, right? Like now that we're clearly like, we tried the Kang thing, we didn't do it right. Kang is done. The TVA is taking care of Kang. It's public now that we're working towards a new threat, which is going to be Doom. We haven't introduced him in universe yet, but we have very clearly, multiple times in this film, said it's time to get the Avengers back together.
Yeah.
And that was cool. It just felt like, okay.
It was a fun nod. I think it hurt it a little bit. Because if it kept making me feel like, oh, we're going to get some band members together to help in the film.
No.
And
It's just a tease of what's to come.
It's a tease. I don't think it was I don't know. It kind of was. It was kind of necessary to kind of make it look like Ross was changing, I guess.
How often have you complained about the fact that the Marvel films are not, like nowadays, they are not intentional about leading towards a center point, leading towards
what center
where we're
point
going.
did this lead to?
The fact that the Avengers are returning. We're going to get the next Avengers film.
But outside of just saying it, they didn't really do it.
Well, no.
If that's the takeaway from things pointing to
you wanted him to hop on the phone with Ant-Man? Like what?
Maybe, I don't know. Like it felt too much. The film felt like it wanted to be more than it was, but also wanted to be small and focused on a single character.
What I do like about the film is it does feel, it's obviously not as good as Winter Soldier, but it does feel like sort of a harking back to that more grounded, political focused, espionage-esque type of film. It wasn't, it was much more grounded. It wasn't this sort of like otherworldly, yes, we have the Celestial, yes, we have a Hulk, yes, we have a guy who's figured out mind control. But it wasn't like the multiverse. It wasn't the quantum verse. It wasn't all of these like, okay, I got to wrap my head around this. It's an easy film to wrap your head around.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It felt like it was trying to be, again, I'll add a little, say the same thing, but add a little bit more. It felt like it was trying to be more than it was, kind of like an Avengers movie or Captain America Civil War, right? It felt like the threat is massive because, well, it was leading to a Hulk threat, right? But,
I mean, I guess.
I have a hard time believing Sam Wilson, even in a vibranium suit, has any chance against fighting Hulk, which he didn't. Like, he stood his ground a few times. Him down. He talked no jutsu to him. but there are a few moments where it was just like a little bit unbelievable that it, like when Red Hulk swings the flagpole, and Sam stops it.
This is the same.
Excuse me. Okay.
He's
using his vibranium suit a bit and the jetpack, but his arms are flexing.
This is the same
like he's
Hulk
holding
that
it back.
moments ago clapped his hands and collapsed half the White House.
Yeah. It like, I don't know.
God, I want to see Hulk versus
You're just
Hulk.
a human. If you had super soldier serum, I could lean it. But,
I want to see Professor Hulk regress back to Hulk.
Oh yeah.
And I want to see Hulk versus Red Hulk.
Yeah.
So bad.
We need Marvel to work their crap out with Paramount or whatever.
Paramount.
And give it the Spider-Man treatment.
Yeah.
Work out a 3-movie deal. Paramount can make it, and you do nothing and claims and help with the script.
I mean, some of that's up to Paramount.
Yeah.
And it may happen.
It's up to both of them to work it out, right?
It may happen.
I think that's what Hulk needs.
Yeah, but I mean, if Paramount just says no, then Paramount says no.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's up to both of them to figure out the details. But if you're going to use Hulk and you're going to use Hulk Rogues Gallery, you need to do Hulk right, and you need like a three. Give Hulk a trilogy.
I don't know about a trilogy, but
I think Hulk could do a trilogy, especially with where the comics have gone recently, where they've kind of they've gone into like where the Hulk actually came from, because I can't remember the name of the storyline they did, but like there was in the Hulk comics. They did a whole thing where
Universal. It's Universal.
Universal. They did a whole thing where Hulk was actually a creation of Bruce Banner when he was a kid being abused by his dad.
Right.
And the gamma radiation just kind of released this inner monster that Banner created in himself. And then there's like what's his name? The something beneath the worlds, or what is it? Inner. I can't remember. But yeah, it's some of the newer storylines. You could totally do a Hulk trilogy, which would be a really easy way to get him also with some of the new storylines that they've released in the comics. It'd be a really easy way to bring back Rage Hulk.
Hang on a second.
What?
In 2023, I'll have to read a little bit more into this, but it looks like in 2023,
the rights revert.
Marvel got the Hulk back.
Yeah, like you could get into Doc Samson
of 2023.
In there, and
okay, final thing we got to touch on,
Hulk stuff,
or that I have to touch on.
Yeah, okay,
is a post-credit scene.
Sure.
Not the best post-credit scene that we've ever gotten.
Didn't give us anything new.
But I disagree. I think it's a solid post-credit scene in the fact it's definitely not the worst post-credit scene we've ever gotten. And in the sense that we have some post-credit scenes that are like, it's just there for a gag, right? Like it's just Howard the Duck sitting there sipping a martini, or it's whatever it is. This is pointing towards what's to come in the sense that you have the leader saying, look, I've run the calculations and I know that you're, Earth's mightiest heroes or whatever you are. Something's coming. And when it does, when the other worlds that are out there come, you're not going to be able to fight it.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. How is that any different than Doctor Strange? Was it Clea? Clea shows up and she's like, you got to help me stop the incursions from the other worlds. It's like, okay. So leaders saying the same thing in different words.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling us something we already knew. Which to your point, makes it not a great...
It's not the best
post-credit scene. It's not horrible, but it's like it's not great because you're telling us something we already know.
Do you think, real quick, does this film? Because this has been a question that we've wondered for a while, since Endgame. Do you think this film is suggesting that Sam Wilson is going to be the leader of the Avengers moving forward? He's the one supposed to get them back together.
Building his own team, probably. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a mistake.
Maybe at some point in these shenanigans, we get a new Steve Rogers or something like that. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I've said for a while that Chris Evans will return.
Well, while we're on the topic of kind of weird things,
We also have to wrap this up.
But yeah, this will be quick. Bucky Rogers is running for senator. The ex-KGB Hydra assassin.
Bucky Barnes.
Yeah, Bucky. Yeah.
You said Bucky Rogers.
Did I say Bucky Rogers?
Yeah,
Bucky Barnes.
Steve's kid.
Steve's kid, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be congressman. Congressman
he
Barnes.
hopes. He hopes.
Yeah.
He's got to get elected.
That's fun. I was like, okay.
Okay. Sure, it's fun. But there's no way he can get elected. Or else how does he become leader of the Thunderbolts in the next movie?
Well, I think the Thunderbolts probably takes place before this film.
You think so?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. We'll see. We don't know,
man.
right? But that was a big surprise for me because he's not in the trailers, and I was like, "Holy shit, it's Bucky!"
Yeah, it was a nice little cameo.
Yeah,
and it worked well. The Congress, I think I was starting to pick, like, it was a little weird interaction because he's talking like he's running for Congress, but you don't get confirmation of that until he's left the room.
You know he's something because he's talking about a campaign.
He's wearing a suit. And he's wearing a pin.
He's got the American flag pin. Yeah,
and it's like, okay, he's campaigning. Okay, I'm putting pieces together, and then you get the confirmation at the end. Yeah, so it feels very un-Bucky.
Are you ready to give this thing a score?
Sure.
All right, on a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rate
Am I
Captain
going
America:
first?
Brave New World? Yeah.
Why do I have to go first?
Because I always ask the question. It's always...
That's not fair. I think we should randomize. I got this thing on my phone. You want to touch my phone?
No, it's well over 400 episodes. This is just how I do it.
All right. What would I give it? Oh, man. It's good, not great. It's got some W's. It's got some L's. I think I got to give it like 6.5. I'm somewhere in there.
Oh, you got to give us a number.
I did.
No, just commit.
I'm giving you a floating number.
No, commit.
It was fun. I'll give it the 0.5. It's 6.5.
Yeah. That works.
Yeah. What are you going to give it?
That's exactly what I've been thinking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 6.5. Yeah.
Okay.
It was fun. Yeah. I will rewatch it.
It's not without its flaws.
I will rewatch it. But it wasn't like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
However, I will say, I've seen all of the trailers up until this point, and one, not the most recent one, but one of them played before this film. My God, the most recent Thunderbolts trailer, when I watched
the Thunderbolts trailers look fun.
I stopped and I turned and I looked at Brienne and I said, almost emotionally, I said, this is the first time in years where I feel like
you're a little excited.
The MCU is back.
Yeah.
It's back.
Yeah, baby. I didn't feel that way about this. Just hitting me now while you were talking there and giving your review, I think I know in a sentence I could describe this film.
Okay.
Brave New World. Brave New World is a really fun Marvel film with a bit of an identity crisis.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know that I fully agree, but I also
that would be my one sentence.
I also have to pee, so I'm not really interested in unpacking it. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All of our socials listed down below. We have a Patreon page. You can get all kinds of fun goodies over there. Behind the scenes photos of stuff happening, bonus episodes regularly. If you're at if you are at a higher tier, you get a video version of those bonus episodes.
We just recently recorded a big episode that you can get some access to.
A big episode?
A big 450?
Wait, I mean, that's just a regular episode. That's
Is it a regular? Well, no, but we're gonna have we're gonna have Patreon access stuff for it, aren't we?
You'll be able to access the list of our pictured graphics. Yeah. So sign up for that. It's a great way to help the show and get a shit ton of fun stuff in return.
Yeah.
And we have merch.
Stuff you can buy that's got our name on it.
Yep. Well, not actually. None of it says Carl.
Our name.
I could change that.
The podcast name. Our name.
On top of
the Royal Hour.
On top of managing the Patreon, editing and posting the show, I also design all the merch. So I could put your name on a shirt.
Okay.
We need a greater division of
labor.
roles.